Hi, everyone. My name is Corinne Zaragoza Estrella, and I am the Academic Specialist at Ayudantes Escolares Online, or online K-5 Tutors. Today, I'm going to be speaking with you about structuring your tutoring sessions. This is a mini training that I hope you find useful for your time spent with your student. Our training objective today is to learn how to structure an online tutoring session when the student doesn't have homework or school assignments. You all are training or working with students over the summer, which is a bit different in and of itself, but then you're also doing it all online without ever having met the child. So hopefully the session today will help you get the most out of your tutoring sessions and to help you do the best work that you can with the child in the short amount of time that you have. Number one, my first suggestion is to keep activities short. Studies show that online learning is best done in 10-minute chunks. If you've ever seen a child's television show, you'll see that a lot of times the episodes are about 10 minutes and there are 2 episodes to make a 20-minute show. That's because that keeps students engaged and focused in that 10-minute amount of time. Remember, it's all about quality over quantity. So it's much better for students to do 2 math problems perfectly and to really understand the material and really understand the concepts rather than kind of pulling teeth and getting them to do 15 problems over the course of 30 minutes. If they can do it twice, then most likely they can do it another 15 times. So it's really just about making sure that the student really understands the material rather than to get them to do a lot of work. I highly recommend that you set a timer online or on your phone to help keep track of time. 10 minutes is a really quick amount of time. It can go by very quickly, especially when you're really focusing and engaged. So a timer is going to keep you accountable and help keep you on track. If you want something kind of fun to use, there's this website, onlinestopwatch.com. They have some really fun timers that you can see here, and they even have some that are a little bit more interactive. This could be a really great way to help your student as well kind of keep track of their own time and know how much time is left on a particular activity during a session. Number 2, structure is key. As we talked about with Miss Gilmore, children really do thrive with structure. It's really calming and comforting for them when they know what's going to happen next. They don't necessarily know in terms of time. It's a little harder for them to keep track of time to say like, oh, it's been 15 minutes, where it's now 9:15, we're going to do this. But they do really understand order of events, and it's really great for them to be able to know what's happening next. Structure can also be used to manage student behavior. So if you have a student who says, oh, I have a new car, I really want to tell you about my brand new toy car that I got. You can say to them, oh, I'm so excited to hear about that, but right now it's math time. After math time comes writing time, and after writing time comes show and tell time. And I can't wait for you to tell me about this during show and tell, but right now let's focus back on the math. It's also a really great way if students are struggling with something and they say, no, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm bored, it's really easy to pull out that online timer and say, I know you're doing such a great job, but look, we only have 3 more minutes left in math, and then we're going to do writing. And I know you love writing, so let's keep focusing a little bit more for 3 more minutes, and then we'll move on to the next activity. So it's just kind of a nice way to keep students on track with whatever they're doing in the moment. Structure is also going to help you plan your tutoring session. I know I've tutored before when I was younger, and 45 minutes is a long amount of time if you don't really have anything planned to do. So what I really recommend is to think about your 45-minute tutoring session with 4 different 10-minute activities, right? So at the beginning, you'll check in. You'll have your first activity, which is 10 minutes, your second activity for another 10 minutes, activity 3 and 4, both 10 minutes, and then a short amount of time at the end to close up your session for that day. I really recommend that you have the same types of activities each day. So you might start off activity 1 is always a math related activity. Activity 2 is always something related to writing. Activity 3 is a show and tell time. And activity 4 is devoted to reading. I highly, highly recommend that at least one of your activities, possibly even 2, is set aside every session for DEAR. So DEAR stands for Drop Everything and Read. Maybe some of you did this when you were in school. But reading has shown to have so many benefits for students in terms of literacy development and overall academic success in school. So even if it's just you reading aloud to the student and just enjoying a fun book together, it has a huge impact on student development. So I would recommend that at least one of your activities, if not 2, is set aside every session for reading and enjoying books together. Number 3, incorporate student interest and personality. So center student interest and personality as much as possible in activities to promote engagement. So thinking about DEAR, if you're reading, if your student really loves animals, reading a lot of books about animals, and different types of books as well, fiction and nonfiction. If your student is competitive, you might want to do a lot of games to kind of get that competitive spirit going. If your student is a little bit more cooperative, you might want to work on things together, find online ways that you can write a story together or do some art together, that kind of thing. That's going to keep the student interested and engaged, and it's going to make things a lot more fun. And it's also going to help them learn better, right, if they're more invested into the tutoring session. And number 4, remember every little bit counts. I know it's a short amount of time and you might be thinking, oh, I wanna maximize these sessions. I wanna make sure to give them the best possible tutoring that I can. But remember that 2 to 3 hours per week during summer vacation is needed to prevent any learning loss. So even those 2 sessions, those 2 45-minute sessions you're doing is still gonna have a pretty big impact on students so that they don't forget everything that they have learned from that grade level over the summer. You can see here there's an infographic, how to beat the summer heat, the summer slide. And this is aimed for parents, but you can see here that a lot of the activities that they suggest are all things that you can do during your tutoring sessions. So I recommend that you share this with your student's family, and also kind of keep it in mind that these are kind of simple ways that you can really make an impact over the summer to keep students learning and ready for the next academic year. If you have any more questions, please email me, reach out. I'd love to chat with you more. We want to thank you for all the hard work that you're doing, and we are very excited to have you on board. Again, if you have any questions or need any further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.